back in. In this video, I'll be strictly going into the scaling of these characters and then place them against Hashirama individually. Then as a group, of course. I will be scaling Hashirama in several conditions, but just tune in. Hashirama actually is pretty strong for the most part when you think about it. Yes, we know he is strong, but not as strong as people outside the debate community think. And within such a community, the denial isn't on the low end, but rather on the near receiving end. Let's start from Hashirama's actual first fight with Madara, which is filler but more of canon. In fact, it's not even filler because it's actually in the manga. Well, at this stage of their ninja growth, already ruling over their clans, Hashirama has mastered the art of wood style, wood forest jutsu or forest emergence, which he used in order to fight Madara, who already had the eternal Mangekyou Sharingan, in which Hashirama put both him and the Nine Tails to sleep after Madara has taken control over the full Nine Tails. But yet, Hashirama undid the control and weakened them both by seriously restricting the Nine Tails. Now, in their second fight, it's where things actually get good. Hashirama and Madara fought after Madara had learned how to basically make use of his full power by getting his full majestic Susanoo, then fusing it with the Nine Tails. Now, the scaling of the Nine Tails is really overpowered, or even the tailed beast in general, but the way the usage of their power works is something I actually have to do a video on, to be very honest. The Nine Tails has been shown to have a move up its sleeve by joining the chakra of its user and itself as one to create so much energy it can take out the likes of Ishiki or Tsutsuki. But yet, this is the same tailed beast people will say is continental at best, but I am not disagreeing. But I am not disregarding it being even just mountain level, or you want to say universal. I have no issue with that because it isn't affecting my life at all. Now, the issue here is me actually just breaking down Kurama's power based on feats and tell you that he has several levels to how his power manifests itself. Let's start with the data books evidence, then move to actual feats. The data book evidences are feats, of course, is written by the author and is very credible for the most part. 1. Kurama has been stated to have earth-shattering power in reference to his Biju Dama clash with the other tailed beasts during the war. 2. Kurama right from the beginning of Naruto has been stated to have power to pulverize the entire planet. Literally, these feats are large planet level tier power output alone. Now, from the anime, Kurama is stated to be able to cause natural disasters by mistakenly swinging its tails, but that would be on unguarded intent, cut mountains, and so much more. Kurama is able to amp Naruto through several stages while his chakra is sealed to beat the likes of Pain, who can casually pull a large city level feat because Konoha is actually a large city, if you want to contemplate on the fact that it was built for 2 clans, or we can leave it at city level. But Pain has greater feats of ranking above other Akatsuki members who can beat fully trained Jinchuriki members, and this isn't a joke the slightest. The Akatsuki members are actually a shit ton more powerful than we think. One thing with beating Jinchurikis isn't the fact you are hitting chakra making you strong, but the fact that if you can contend with a little percentage of their extremely intense chakra, then you are actually very strong. The Akatsuki members like Kisame, who is compared to tailed beasts in terms of chakra, is impressive even without being at full power. But you can make many cases for this statement being false depending on how you view the reference of these in terms of how strong you think the tailed beasts actually are in terms of chakra, and trust me, they are no joke. And the truth be told, except for Baryon mode, the scaling of the tailed beast can get really outrageous or really downgraded. Nagato can easily drain Cloak 2 away from Killer Bee. That's some real shit. Now, these tailed beasts and their Jinchurikis weren't fully compatible. Naruto has a better relationship with them than their Jinchurikis, and even the fifth tails could cause more damage to Kaguya through boiled release than Kurama. You all get what I mean now. The amount of power they release totally depends on the Jinchurikis or by their own intent if they see need to. Kurama in the war had feats of amping everyone else remaining 3 times the level of Kakashi, each to the point the likes of Hinata could push a Ten-Tail's arm or tail coming towards her with full force away that the entire alliance was shocked, including Madara and Obito. Now imagine each how much power half of Kurama has when you remember that Naruto used the power in KCM to blitz the Raikage or rank the entire 5 Kage. Naruto normally in his base could use hundreds of shadow clones with Odama Rasengans because each was in stage mode to literally stop a life-threatening technique of Hashirama Senju done by Madara, which is Wood Forest Emergence. Naruto sent out at least 100 KCM clones in the war from the image I remember, as you can see how much they are in the scan. Naruto, while low on power, could take on Itachi and Nagato, but was going to definitely lose, and he could match up Killer Bee's V2 Cloak, which actually far outranks the Raikage's V2 Cloak, as base B could drag strength with V1 Raikage's cloak, and his V1 cloak should rival Raikage's V2 cloak, and Naruto could rival B's V2, which makes it consistent as Raikage got blitzed by Naruto going full V2. Now, Naruto's KCM clones could take on previous Kages, and the most popular one is the third Raikage getting beat by KCM clones of Naruto while they're in Sage mode. I won't say beats because Naruto couldn't penetrate the cloak, but could move faster than him easily. And the only reason he couldn't do that is because actually wind can't affect lightning. Rather, it amplifies it. And that's why the explosion between Naruto and Sasuke is usually very terrifying. Or Boruto being able to amp his Rasengan, or Naruto actually using the Rasen Shuriken to strengthen Raikage's cloak unknowingly. Naruto still used summonings and much more, but yet was sharing power that he didn't even have full master of clearly. Also, Naruto using just KCM with Sage mode on top, which is something we didn't see in the war but in the last. We can say this KCM and Sage mode is relative to his KCM2 in the war or greater, as he literally one-shot someone who was going to destroy the earth by moving the moon, which is called to be large planet level easily. But to be honest, KCM to Naruto has already passed that. Split the moon in half casually, or if you want to make it worse, you can use a statement of him having same chakra as Kaguya, but I won't take this serious since it could mean chakra type, but yet they aren't from the same Otsuki branch nor clan, so it could mean power level most likely, and actually Occam's razor would support this proposition very more likely. 4. Kurama during the war was able to save everyone with the cloaks to tank a multi-continental attack that actually even Madara was guarding with his Susanoo to show the extent of such power. Now, Madara can control a full version of such, which you can't do if you don't have strong chakras to do so. He then wraps such in his Susanoo. Separately, each of these avatars are easily beyond planet level. It isn't funny, meaning the user itself is beyond such. But yeah, Hashirama could still use something that could pick up the Nine Tails like it's nothing after bullying it with Susanoo Cloak non-stop, quite casually through Sage Art by summoning the Buddha 1000 arm cannon. Hashirama during the war could still manage to fight a refined Madara who was already causing serious havoc, and Madara actually still lost to a weakened Hashirama meaning Hashirama actually grew far stronger but refined isn't in the context of body but not ocular. Refined is in the context of body but not ocular powers, and that's why when Madara got his Renegon, it was an issue, and when the reanimation seal was off, Hashirama lost like a kid. I mean, Madara broke the same deity gaze the Ten Tails couldn't break out of, but resulted to reshaping its tails to escape it. These two men weren't surpassed by even Jubito, to be frank, with everyone. Now, to further justify Hashirama's power, when Obito fused with the Ten Tails and became its Jinchuriki, Madara wanted to go after Obito, and so as Hashirama, which to be honest, Hashirama would have actually probably negged him even in his Edo Tensei state. I know a lot of people would bring up the fact that Jubito one-shot both Tobirama and Hashirama, but the truth of the matter is neither of them are as fast as he is, but they are definitely as strong or stronger, speaking in terms of Madara and Hashirama now. People always bring up this argument of Tobirama blitzing Jubito clearly when Jubito saw him coming from teleporting behind him. And actually, it was visually shown as you can see him looking straight at Tobirama, choosing to do nothing. Yet, this was the same person who blitzed Minato in KCM, and yet the Hokages do accept him being the fastest, but Minato also says Tobirama is very fast. And yes, Obito actually didn't really try against them because he thought he couldn't take damage, and after he took damage, he stated he was going to start being cautious of them, and that's when she got real. Now, Madara supposedly saying Obito might get ahead of him while he plays his trump card isn't signifying he was going to beat Obito. I made the statement above in reference to the consistent arguments made against me when I was new in debating, and it didn't end till today. People really thought Madara was going to stop him, but Madara in fact was just going to make sure he fought Hashirama and then help with the plan, or simply after observing the battles, he knew he could use Senjutsu to affect Six Path's characters, which is really the only thing they can take damage to, unless you are actually stronger than them or relative in physical attacks. Their bodies naturally negate the balance of any techniques, which is yin-yang released. But Senjutsu negates such, which is why Hashirama wasn't a force Obito could easily beat despite the fact he's massively faster. If you were to equalize their speeds or say relative, Hashirama can easily defend himself in his Sage Art, and Obito's attacks won't negate them because of Senjutsu. Rather, it would be the other way around, and Hashirama would cause him serious damage to the body. Now, the Espada. Now, the Espada are a group of Arankars gathered by no other than Sosuke Aizen to do his bidding. Like fighting against the Soul Society, in which compared to the captains, they actually aren't as impressive as people think they are, except the first 4 Espada. Now, I actually felt like scaling the entire Espada, but truth be told, that's as good as irrelevant, because the lower ranked Espadas just get utterly violated. It isn't even a joke. The issue with the fodder Espadas are their hexes, but that's not an issue because in both Bleach and Naruto, raw power actually negates hacks pretty badly, except situations like the truth-seeking orb. Now, people like Aranero are pretty much useless except the fact he can use the powers of those he has consumed, including their spiritual pressure and looks, but that's for those weaker than his normal power. He would be the strongest then if he could just do that to anyone and have their excessive powers within him, which would literally kill his power, and body wouldn't be able to contain such, and he will die. Hashirama would just kill him. Zomari, using his technique, which I prefer not to pronounce, gives him the ability to control you, and these can also be negated by power difference. Also, it can be easily dodged, as this is very slow to people earlier on in the show. Talk less of the light of Hashirama, none would touch him. Zayo is just fodder as well. Literally needs to put you in this weird squid looking thing which will poison your entire organs. But even meteor ninjas would escape that shit. And even though he somehow caught Hashirama, like the Ninetales literally poisons worse than almost anything in the verse if he does not like you. And well, Hashirama could literally put that same chakra to sleep. She's not working. And also Hashirama heals incredibly well, even better than Tsunade. That's sick. This lady can literally join her body, split apart. Think about that. Now, Baragan is gonna always get hype, but you're all forgetting this nigga died to fathers of Soifon's Bankai and a fucking Meteor Kido. Now, his technique Aragante is very dangerous, which it just ages anything, but he will have to penetrate Hashirama's wood style technique's durability because of the Senjutsu with it. If you can prove he can age nature energy, then fine. He can have a shot at Hashirama, but still Hashirama just smacks before he knows what's happening. He can slow down time, but yeah, Hashirama has fought Madara who could rewind time and yet still catch up to the perspective of the change in time flow to attack Madara immediately. Now Stark is very formidable with his almighty Infinite Zero, but that's just fodder as well, because he won't output such at once and would still get overpowered by Hashirama easily. Grimmjow is literally just a fighting powerhouse who has little to no hacks and would just get easily outstomped by Hashirama like no issue. His release won't change anything, to be honest. Next up is Noitora. This dude lost because a heavily suppressed Kenpachi used his two hands to swing his sword. Enough said. Nelio also doesn't change anything as these people are pure brute strength and they get slapped. Now speaking of Halibel, Yukiura and Yami, well, Yami has a lot more power than them, but he's slow as hell. I got shit on by Kenpachi who just beat Noitora and Nobyakuya who caught his nerves in his legs because of Zamari. Yukiura is very intelligent, but his best shot is Lanza del Lorampago, which is 100 times his base strength, or I think 1,000, which is relative to release Grimmjow. So yeah, he's formidable but gets folded as well. Now, as for Halibel, well, she couldn't beat Toshiro easily and Toshiro was handing it to her, but Aizen had to do the job himself. Now, the scaling for them here is country to planet level, which Hashirama's least scaling is large planet level. The gap is too much, to be honest. Now, if we go with my own Bleach calced scaling, Hashirama would lose to Zomari. But if you want to give Hashirama the benefit of doubt as well to upscale him just by scaling him relative to KCM, to Naruto and EMS Sasuke, simply by scaling the to Ninetales and Susanoo. Obito and Six Paths can be entering the solar system and higher ranges of power if you want to go deeper into Kurama. If you want to consider Kurama is a good chunk of Tentails or Kaguya's power, who is lowballing multi-solar system levels of power and could get far higher when you remember that he has immeasurable nature energy or chakra, which is the incomplete Tentails essence. So the scaling could escalate and wouldn't be wrong because just Kurama can take out an Otsutsuki more powerful than Kaguya, and the incomplete Jubi, meaning other Jubis aren't as OP as Kaguya's Tentails, and would mean indeed Kaguya created universes which can be easily proven. But I won't go that far here. Let's leave it as Hashirama is massively more powerful than them. Now, the Espada using teamwork is almost useless as they even hate each other. Hashirama wouldn't need to bring out anything bigger than Wood Golem, and none of them would touch him. Firstly, his Wood Dragon can literally wipe the entire battlefield clear. His Wood Golem and Dragon are good for defense. His Forest Jutsu can poison them to sleep. He can use Bringer of Darkness Genjutsu and kill all of them at once because they won't see shit. His Wood Golem matches up the power of Madara Susanoo. Let that stick. I mean, Madara is more powerful than someone who can just bring in... Hashirama is more powerful than someone who can just bring in meteorites from the sky, which is bigger than the previous one. If they say they want to do an all-out transformation and combine attacks, honestly, it would end up the same way Kurama matched up the other tailed beast, but worse, because Hashirama could bring out the Buddha with 1,000 hands and it's straight GG. Remember to share and subscribe. If you do not agree, please respectfully tell me what you think in the comments. Join my Discord to interact. Yeah, if you like Bleach and Naruto, please do subscribe and see you all next time. Peace.